Now, as we move on to the New Testament portion, we're introduced to Paul the Apostle, who we're told wanted to take power and control over everyone by defining gayness as a sin. And so Paul wanted to kill Jesus, who the book calls Jesus, says Jesus was non-binary. We read, Paul stood in front of it, addressing his mob of angry homophobes. Today we shall make right this terrible act of rebellion that Jesus, which is the Jesus character, has committed daily by simply existing. It's time for us to end this queer preaching and return the people to rightful silence. And in Paul's unadulterated hate, he was able to convince Judas to help him kill Jesus. But of course, Judas had a hard time betraying Jesus, but the reason why is because Judas was actually bisexual and was having a hard time betraying his true self. So after that betrayal, Paul rounded up everyone to crucify Jesus because he thought that by killing Jesus, it would force people to become straight. So just after he stabs Jesus in the stomach, he says, "Here now you see, Jeff hath carried the sins of the queer and the sins of sedition, the sins of those who would love to think freely for themselves. He hath carried your sins and given his life for them. Jesu here dies so that the lot of you may be cleansed," Paul shouted to the crowd. And then, of course, the crucifixion happens. After Jesus died, Paul's homophobic gospel spread all throughout the world as a result. And as time went on, the church raised a violent army to harm and kill gay people. Of course, as time went on, the church continued to willfully deceive and manipulate everyone. Their most fantastic deception was, in fact, the most simple. By demonizing everything natural about a human life and the human body, the men of cloth were able to create a fundamental and deeply rooted sense of shame and guilt sewn into the fabric of society. All of the basic needs of the body, from hunger to sexual desire to the passing of gas and even the need for sleep, were held in contempt by the church, all while they claimed to see divinity in God's creation. By assaulting every essential aspect of being human, the clergy were able to rob people of the most basic beauties of life. This abuse continues even to this day.